Hey everybody, this is Joseph Pasek, and welcome to the Fired Up Network. Welcome to World Cup preview with Steph. And I had to bring him back. People were complaining there's no Tele Latino now. I had to bring him back. Alf the Blasses. Alf, how you doing?
Doing well, Joe. Thanks for having me back on. It's been a while.
And
Nice to be
Steph
back.
Dwyer, of course. She's in Germany, by the way, Alf. She's in Germany right now. So there we,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I basically I was trying to soak up all the energy, but I just said to Joe while we were waiting, sort of to go on sort of live. We are still very reserved. We know we are not a big contender. We know that we know when a tournament is happening, we can step up to the plate. But I feel we know that if we make it to the knockout round, that would be already, sort of a miracle. So we have a chance with our group, but I'm not sure. And nobody is really seeing us as a favorite. So I feel we know our place. We always like to, sort of and be good for a surprise. But like I said, the knockout round would be already, sort of a winning streak for us. So let's see how we actually perform when we're there. But who knows?
all right.
I think
And
you
this year, of course, the
underestimate
World Cup.
your nation.
Oh, I'm not so sure. I think we're very realistic right now. After not making it for, sort of the second time after Qatar and Russia, I feel especially we have so many other big squads coming in and also some of the nations that don't feel the pressure as much because they don't really feel that the whole nation is going like, guys, if you do this another time, that's going to be, sort of heads off. Or I don't know. I feel, for example, also England has the same issue. It's like, bring it home. Finally, come on, do it now. And I feel some countries have a much bigger, sort of, yeah, sort of bigger shoes to fill, have a lot more pressure than really, sort of ones that are there for the first time. They can just enjoy it, sort of whatever happens, they are happy to be there, just perform on the world stage. And I think some of the ones that go, well, we are the dark horses, we have a chance. So let's see. I mean, like I said, I'm happy if they make it to the next round. I'm all for it. But let's be realistic, I would say.
All right. So we're gonna be realistic. We're gonna preview the groups here. Give me your top two, and then if you want the third one, because top four out of the top three make it. All right. Group A tomorrow. We're starting Mexico. By the way, it's Mexico,
Yes.
Canada, and U.S. having home advantage. Mexico, South Africa, Korea Republic, and Czechia. Off. You'll start us off in this one.
Well, I mean, I think this is Mexico's to lose. I mean, it's a group that it doesn't really have a significant challenger to them, unless you maybe indicate that South Korea could be probably their toughest opponent, and I think that's legitimate given some of the talent that's in that South Korean side, particularly Seung Hun Min. But no, I mean, I don't think there should be any difficulty for Mexico to get through the group and certainly win the group outright. As I said, Korea would probably be the runner up in this group. I don't really rate Czechia or South Africa, who have just come back to the tournament after hosting it in 2010. So it's really a nation yet to be discovered in terms of what their uh, what they may do
Yeah.
at this level. So it's Mexico and Korea for me.
Unfortunately,
Steph.
I have to second that because I think also Mexico, I think also has the advantage because they have enormous support across all of North America. And that should feel almost like a home game for them wherever they play. So I feel, and you can never really underestimate the power and the strength that also the audience has to really take you to the next level when you're sort of on the grass. So I feel Mexico definitely has to be the one to watch. And I think South Korea, they have experience, they have technical quality and a proven ability to rise sort of on the biggest stage. So and I mean, I lived in Japan, so I've seen the Asian, sort of teams perform. So I feel, sort of these are the two also to really, have an eye on.
All right, Steph, you'll begin with Group B: Canada, Bosnia Herzegovina, Qatar, and Switzerland.
Yeah, well, come on. I mean, we are Canadians, so Canada is the most interesting team in the tournament for me because playing at home gives you a real opportunity to make a statement. They, they have a lot of international talent that has been playing internationally. So, I mean, Bayern Munich, it just depends on, is everybody ready? Is everybody fit? Can they perform when they need to perform? But I want Canada to definitely be up there. Switzerland is probably the safest bet to advance, sort of as a second one. They are consistent in major tournaments. The underdog for me is Bosnia-Herzegovina. This is a team that could upset expectations if they start well. So let's see. I don't know how Alf feels about this group, but that's it for me.
Okay,
Yeah,
hold on, Alf. I'm getting breaking news. I'm getting breaking news. We have another injury in the Canadian camp. Got a paper cut. The goalie got a paper cut. Can you believe all these injuries?
Anything is possible right now, given what's been going on in the last several months. Look, yeah, I mean, Canada's been decimated by injuries, and there's still a number of question marks over several really important players, and Alphonso Davies being the utmost. Obviously, it looks as if he's not going to start the first game. He's not even going to dress for the first game, so he won't even be available. Whether he is available at all through the group stage is still a question mark. So that's a real significant blow to Canada. But I think that they've been able to do extremely well without him over the course of the past year and a half. He hasn't represented Canada at any level. So this is a team that has had to get by without the services of their captain. They've done reasonably well. I think they were impressive in the last couple of friendly matches. One half against Uzbekistan, one half against Ireland. If they can put those two 45 minutes together and make a sound 90-minute match against Bosnia-Herzegovina, because that is a very difficult opponent, as you said, Steph. They are very compact. They play a low block. They absorb quite a bit of pressure, and they can counterattack, and they can be dangerous on the counterattack. So Canada really has to be on their guard in that first match. I think Switzerland is the team that can win this group outright, simply because of what you mentioned. They're proven in a tournament format like this. They have star quality. They have technical players. They're not overly attacking team, but they can certainly build from the back, and they can certainly strike at any time. And I think it looks like it should be a Switzerland-Canada 1-2 out of this group, with Bosnia potentially being a third place team.
All right, Steph, back to you for Group C: Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, and Scotland.
I mean, if we don't mention Brazil, what are we going to do, right? So, I mean, Brazil is a clear favorite. I think Morocco might be the most dangerous second-seeded team in this competition. This is the nation that reached the semifinals in Qatar in 2022. And I think Scotland, they are capable to make life difficult for, some people in the group. But like I said, I mentioned also that it might not be only the squad, but also the, sort of surrounding factors, where they are going to play. How many, how much time do you have to travel? Where are you landing the next time? What is the climate like? Is it very cold? Is it very hot? The elevation. So there are a lot of, factors that are coming into, sort of play when you're if you just think about the squad itself, and everybody would be using the same grass, everybody would be using the same stadium. It might be a different thing, but we have other factors that come into play. So I feel Brazil and Morocco, that's it for me in Group C. And like I said, I mean, I love the Scottish fans. I have to say they're a great group. They are humorous. They are, entertaining. So I would love to see them, sort of advance as well, just because they're a great crowd to watch.
All right, and Alf, we mentioned, or Steph mentioned, distance between games or whatever. But I believe every team in the contest has 6 days for the next game. There are 6 days, so recovery is pretty good there.
Yeah, I think that's the minimum amount of time between games, which allows for travel, and we know there's going to be a tremendous amount of travel for many of the teams. This group, I think, for the most part, is based in the U.S. Northeast, so it shouldn't be as much travel for this particular group as some of the others. But unquestionably, Brazil is the favorite in this group. With Morocco, I think a close second, just kind of from the momentum that they built through the World Cup in Qatar, and the fact that they were fairly strong in African qualifying. But I would give you a first dark horse here in Scotland. I kind of like the talent that they're putting together. I particularly like Scott McTominay, who's been a revelation in Italy over the past couple of seasons. Not as significant this season as he was in the previous, but I think they have quite a fair bit of quality in that side, and a team that can actually prove to be difficult to break down for both Brazil and Morocco. And you know what? Haiti is also a bit of a dark horse in this group. They're a team that is difficult, a difficult challenge for many, because they have some veteran talent, and they've proven in past tournaments that they have the abilities to cause upsets. So this is this is a really intriguing group to me. I don't think apart from the quality of Brazil, I don't know that there's much to separate these 4 teams in this group.
All right, I'm going to change it around. First, I'll go to Alf, because Group E was Germany. So Group D is the United States, Paraguay, Australia, and Turkey. Alf, you'll start us off here.
Sure. Well, I look, this is going to be a really challenging tournament for the United States. There's been so much controversy swirling around Mauricio Pochettino. Was he the right coach in the first place? How he, they've been critical of him on how he actually chose his team and how he communicated to his some of his players, or the players that were left off the roster. So there's been a lot of controversy swirling around the United States. And look, this first match against Paraguay is a very, very stiff test for them, because that's Paraguay is traditionally a very difficult South American side to break down, and they have some unique individual talent in that side. So this is a really tough opening match, and if they can get the crowd in LA behind them as they come out, and if they are not overcome by nerves in the first few minutes of the match, then they should be able to secure a win in the game. But the team that I see eventually winning this group is Turkey, who I think are a very strong and very balanced side from top to bottom. It's a team that did extremely well in qualifying. They're a tournament tested team, and I think they'll win this group outright, with the United States maybe pipping Paraguay right at the at the death to come through in second place, but I do think Paraguay might be able to come out of this group as a third place team.
That's what I said. Steph, go ahead.
Okay, because we have 12 groups to go through, I will go into speed mode now. I mean, I think the issue is if United States is not advancing, then, so sort of the rest of the whole tournament will be in a different kind of vibe because the hosting nation is no longer present. And I feel, if your hosting nation is still in the game, you will have, sort of a different kind of cheer. The joy of, sort of football, sort of will linger longer, even if you have, of course, sort of the fans traveling from all over the world. But I feel if your host nation is still there, because it's also supposed to be a commercial for football, for soccer, and sort of get people invested in the game and see what sort of it's all about. Because I still remember when I was talking to some people in North America that people say, yeah, but we only have 1-0, so that's not really sort of a great score. It's all about the high scores. So I feel if you don't see the real strategy and techniques behind it, that's something sort of that will be different. So I think if United States is out of the game, that might be just a little bit sort of like a little bit of a downer for the whole tournament. But that's so if they can't make it, they can't make it. I think also Turkey, they have an exciting young talent, enough quality to reach the knockout. And between Australia and Paraguay, I mean, it's everybody's game. I feel they're Australia difficult to break down, and Paraguay always bringing the physicality and the experience. So we will see, like I said, in the first week, we make predictions now, but after the first week, we will all change what we said before because we will see what, sort of who performed how. And then all of a sudden, there might be some politics in play that we didn't know before, injuries, whatever. So, we will see what happens after a week.
All right, so Steph, you'll start us off on Group E. That's your group because you're from Germany now. Go ahead, tell everybody the group and who's your pick. Obviously,
All right.
I think it's Germany.
Well, Group E, of course, Germany, Ecuador, Ivory Coast, and Curacao. Germany should be able to make it through. They have a pretty good team. I feel there are some kinks at the moment because of just communication, how the team came together, especially for the goalkeepers. So I feel that's something that they have to tweak because you need really everybody, focused on being a team. And, sort of your main focus is to win the tournament, and everything else, whatever happens on the sidelines, if you have some issues with the roster, that's something else to consider. So they should be able to make it. But like I said, I've talked to Germans all around. We are sort of excited. And the longer we stay in the game, we will get, sort of the vibe, and we're going, yeah, it's all possible. But right now, we just, sort of are pretty reserved and try to be realistic. Ivory Coast has tremendous athleticism and attacking quality. And I think Ecuador might be the dark horse to watch. One of South America's most organized teams, great defense. So these are the three for me. I mean, it would be great to have somebody come out of this that you go like, ooh, interesting to watch. We haven't seen them in a while. So, but yeah, Germany, Ivory Coast, and Ecuador, these are the three. The Curacao, I'm just happy that they're there and that they, can show what they bring to the table. But let's be honest, that would be sort of like insane, sort of if they could make it, and everybody else is not coming to the, coming to the games, not even showing up.
All right, go ahead, Alf.
Well, yes. I mean, Germany is the class of this group. I don't see them being upset or troubled by any of the other teams in the group. Although Ecuador could be, a bit of a difficult side to break down. They had a terrific qualification campaign in South America. Completely warranted and merited their qualification as high as they were. I also like Cote d'Ivoire, the Ivory Coast. It's a side that is always been a perennial contender in African Championship. So that's a team that can certainly give the others, some difficulty. I don't rate Curacao, although you have to consider that they do have this Dutch influence, and they have some interesting talent there. But in the end, I don't think that they're just tournament tested enough, and they'll be able to, be any legitimate threat to any of the other three teams. So I'm going with Germany and Ecuador 1-2 in this group.
Okay, Steph. Group F: Netherlands, Japan, Sweden, and Tunisia.
I think that might be the most balanced group in the tournament, with Netherlands being a favorite. But Japan, I mean, I lived in Japan and I know how much soccer means to the Japan nation. So I would say Japan continues to improve every 4 years and have become one of the most technically really sophisticated teams. And like I said, it is a great sport in Japan. And I knew, I watched one tournament where they were just running like there's no tomorrow. Everybody's fighting for everyone. And I mean, you could see the other teams going like, oh, should I really run after the ball? Do I really need that much possession? And these Japanese guys, they were just going for it. They go like, no, we have to make it. And so I like the tenacity. I like that, like everybody for the team. And it's for them a real honor to represent Japan. So I want Japan to be definitely in the knockout. And the Netherlands, I think they really want to be in it. So I think for me, it could be like a big disappointment because everybody thinks Netherlands are, always, stepping up to the plate, but they haven't in the last couple of tournaments. So they should be well, relaxed and sort of freshened up for this one. So I would not be surprised if Japan takes it and finishes first. But yeah, Sweden and Tunisia, I wouldn't really see there right now. And Netherlands could be it.
Okay, go ahead, Alf.
Yeah, I think you're right, Steph. I think this is a very balanced group. I think each one of these nations really has a shot at winning this group outright. I'm really interested in the Netherlands and the particularly the players that are coming through their national program. Cody Gakpo, Frankie De Jong, some new talent, some fresh talent that are kind of taking over from veteran players that have moved on, and I'm wondering whether they have quite the balance that they need to be as strong as the nations of the past have been. So I do like Japan simply because of their history in World Cup tournaments, and they're always a contender, and they're always a challenger. I'm interested in seeing what Tunisia brings. I think they're a very interesting X factor and could be a dark horse. They have a wealth of talent there, and Sweden is a team that didn't have a particularly good qualification campaign, but they are there, and they do have some brilliant individual talent. So it'd be interesting to see how they fare against the Netherlands and Japan in particular. So I like Japan, the Netherlands, and potentially Tunisia as a third place team here.
All right, Group G, back to Steph here: Belgium, Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand. Go ahead, Steph.
Okay. I think a lot of politics are in play here because just Iran, sort of coming to the tournament, you can't really black out what's happening in the world. So I feel that's a very, very tough, sort of background to play if you're representing a nation that is at war with some of the host nation. So like I said, you can't black that out. I feel Belgium is a favorite on paper, but I think Egypt is the team to watch. They have tournament experience, strong organization, enough attacking quality to challenge Belgium, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, New Zealand is lovely. They're a great nation, but I'm not sure if they can really make it to the knockout. So for me, I would say Egypt and Belgium should actually make it through to the next.
Alf?
Yeah, interesting for me. I'm wondering whether any one individual can stand out, and I wonder if this could perhaps be a tournament of redemption for Mo Salah at Egypt after a troubling campaign he had at Liverpool, and I wonder if the team will rally around him if he's able to be as strong an attacking force as he has been. So Belgium, again, also a team that seems to be going through a transformation. And I wonder about Romelu Lukaku. Is going to be as effective as he's been in the past? Kevin De Bruyne is a player who still has quality, but is getting on in years. And obviously, Iran is a team that you have to keep an eye on because it's a side that has been so dominant in Asia, and they have they have this the world is against them in a way, right? Given the political circumstances that are revolving around them. So I do feel that this could be a group where Egypt and Iran, fight for the top spot, with Belgium lingering there as a side that can come through as well. New Zealand, I don't rate. Unfortunately, I mean, fortunately, it's a great opportunity for them to be in a tournament like this, having come out of the Oceania region. But I don't think that they really pose any threat to any of the other three at this tournament.
I think we always have a sentimental spot for the key. Oh, sorry. I just want to say, I always think we have a sentimental spot for the Kiwis because Winton Rufer played a long time, sort of in Germany. So we always look to the Kiwis and sort of as a favorable nation for us.
Yeah, and there's this interesting story about Tim Payne becoming this mega social media star, given the support that he got from the YouTuber. But yeah, I mean, there are nice stories there, but unfortunately, it's going to be 3 games and out for New Zealand.
Okay.
I have a shirt here.
You're wearing. I thought you'd be wearing it, Joe. Why aren't you wearing it?
Well, I got to start with Canada. Come on, I got to start with Canada, and then
and then halfway through the tournament, you're going to switch to Spain. Yeah, like the Portuguese and the Brazilians.
So I got Brazil here. I got Canada here, but I just wanted to say, Carmen Asako, the coach here, good friends of myself and Alf and Steph did a show with him. He mentioned Spain is going to win the World Cup. Now, look, I'm Spanish, and Alf, you know this. Did he give me the curse of death here because he said Spain? He's Italian. You're Italian. Yeah. Italian did not make the World Cup. He said Spain. Come on. Should I throw the shirt out now or not?
No.
Anyways, Group H.
Spain.
Go ahead.
Look, through all of the prognostications, the predictions ahead of this tournament, the betting lines all indicate that Spain and France are 1-2 to win this tournament outright. So there's no reason to believe that Spain, can't easily get through their group. Now, I am going to say that the one difficult test they're going to have is Uruguay, because there's a tremendous amount of talent in that side, and that's one of the matches of the tournament that I'm really looking forward to, is Spain and Uruguay. Obviously, Lamine Yamal is a question mark at the moment. Is he fit? Is he?
Yes.
He will, eventually come into the side at some point and be a critical factor in their success. But Uruguay is going to be a nation that will give them a lot of difficulty. I don't really rate Saudi Arabia, even though they did beat Argentina in that first game in Qatar. But that, in the end, didn't trouble the Argentines on their way to winning the World Cup. So I think it'll be Spain, Uruguay, and Saudi Arabia. Cape Verde is just happy to be there. I don't think they're going to be trouble. They're going to be trouble for anyone. There's we know very little about them, but I think that the team to the team to beat in the entire tournament is in this group, and that's Spain.
Yeah, I think, I can really wrap it up. I mean, if it's not Spain, what's going to happen, right? So Spain is the leading contender to win the entire tournament. Very young generation, extraordinary talent. I think Jamal is the new face of soccer. Sort of very young, but already very, sort of efficient, brilliant in the technical aspect. We have the South American grid coming from Uruguay. So I feel these are the two that will advance, and Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia. I don't know. Let's go on to the next group, because I feel we should go through the groups and not think about what could be a surprise or whatever.
I actually think this group I here may be the best group of them all. Alf, what do you say? We'll start with you. France, Senegal, Iraq, and Norway.
Look, I don't doubt that. It's a balanced group on paper. Sure. France, again, we're talking about one of the co-favorites of the tournament. They have tremendous individual talent. If you look at, Dembele, Barcola, Doué, Mbappe, it's such a tremendously talented team that should easily get through their 3 group stage games. But don't count out Senegal. Senegal is a team that has proven to be capable of an upset, and they have tremendous quality and individual talent themselves. I think Norway is a team that is led by Erling Haaland and a decent supporting cast. I don't think it's a great side outside of him, but he alone can be a tremendous offensive threat.
Work.
They do. It's a very efficient side. But I think that in this particular group, they'll have a very difficult time getting through. I think it's France, Senegal, and Iraq and Norway fighting for the 3rd place qualification there.
Yeah, I would also say France definitely obvious, favorite, and then Norway being the underdog might have a chance. Like I said, depending on if everything comes together, and it also depends if one player can always, sort of capture all of the attention that others on the side can really get through, and maybe have some chances, and or if sort of one player can really change the whole game. So I feel Norway has a chance, but is the underdog. And Senegal is experienced, powerful, extremely difficult to play against. And this could be a genuine group of death if everybody comes to the table and wants to fight. So we will see how it goes. But yeah, I mean, France definitely, come on. They will, I mean, if they don't make it again, that's another one where you go like, okay, let's go home, right? I mean, the tournament is over. So no, I mean, they have such a deep squad. I mean, come on. Even if one guy, sort of is not, sort of making it to the next round because he's injured, or I don't know, sort of there are a lot of, penalties flying around. They have enough to, fill the slots. So that's also something to consider.
All right, Group J, which should have been called Group A, because listen to this: Argentina A, Algeria A, Austria A, and then J because they called it
Yeah,
Jordan. So Jordan's gonna win. Never mind. All right,
they're
so
they're,
Alf,
they're missing
A
Australia.
for Alf.
They should have rigged the draw so
Yeah,
Australia got in that group. So it'll be all teams with A.
that's right.
No, this is easy. Argentina is going to walk through this group. I don't think any of those three teams is really a challenger. We're talking about the defending World Cup champions at any rate. So it's a team that would have would have been favored regardless of who their opponents were. But given the the quality of the opponents, Austria, to me, maybe the one that to provide a bit of a challenge given their organization. They do have a player that has been a representative of that country, and I'm sure you know him well, Steph, David Alaba, who is a leader and a player that the team would rally around. But I can't see any of these three teams really giving Argentina a run. So they'll go through easily on 9 points on three victories. I think Austria and Algeria may fight it out for second place. I don't think you'll see a third place team come out of this group. I think it's just too one-sided. But it'll be interesting to see how far Jordan can get in this tournament. Curious to see what they can do coming out of Asian qualifying.
I feel also Jordan is just making history simply by being here. And we'll have some maybe feel-good stories of the tournament, being a first, sort of timer. So I think that's already, sort of a great story. And yeah, definitely. I mean, Argentina, I think the whole country expects that they are making it to the final. I mean, every time they expect it. I mean, football is life for them. So I feel Argentina, we don't have to really, even think about that they are not making it. And Austria and Algeria, I think also the two will fight it out. They both have, on their part some strong qualities, but it's, up for grabs, I think, the second spot. It really all depends, sort of
Much
who
like
has
Group
also a good
B.
start into the team, to be honest, into the tournament. I think, if you have a first, sort of game and you're starting with great vibes, good motivation, that, carries you through to the next, sort of steps. So I think that can also, be a defining moment for all of these teams.
Yeah, much like Group K here: Portugal, Congo, Pakistan, and Colombia. I'll start off with Steph in this one. Portugal's division to win.
Yeah, they are sort of a favorite. I'm not sure because, I mean, they have, sort of this legacy that they will carry with them because CR7 is going to be so like, this might be, sort of Ronaldo's final, world stage moment. So they will have, sort of a fiesta around it every single time he will come, onto the game. But I'm not sure. I think Colombia could push, their way to the top. They are definitely South America. All of these, great nations. They are the ones to watch. Uzbekistan is an intriguing newcomer, and I think they're just happy to be there as well. And I'm not sure. I mean, Congo. I don't see really an upset there. I feel Colombia and Portugal are the ones that sort of will make it through. And yeah, I think Uzbekistan and Congo, sort of great interactions, but I'm not sure. I don't see much happening there.
Okay, Alf.
Yeah, interested to see how much of a factor Cristiano Ronaldo will be with Portugal. Whether he is a player that can be a factor for them for 90 minutes, or is he used in a different role? yeah, it's really interesting. I really favor Colombia in this group simply because of the quality of side that they are coming into the tournament with. I really like Luis Diaz. James Rodriguez is is a veteran player and always brings his A game to tournaments, to tournament football. So I think Portugal and Colombia will battle it out for top spot. I don't really see either of the other two teams being a significant factor, although I probably rate Congo a little bit higher than Uzbekistan. But yeah, I'd be curious to see how Ronaldo is utilized in Portugal. He is still, the leader of that group, but I wonder what his specific role is going to be in that side, given the kind of wealth of talent around him. So yeah, I'm curious to see especially that first match.
I'm going to tell you about Portugal. The first two matches are going to play in Houston. The third match, they're playing Colombia, and I know CR is going to show up. Guess where the game's in? Miami, Messi Stadium. Put it that way. All right. So that's what I'm going to say there. Now, Group L, I'm going to start with Alf here. England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. Now, England hasn't won since 1966. We mentioned the Maple Leafs and all that. What are really, realistically, nobody talks about England. Every World Cup, we're going to win this time. We're going to win, and nobody talks about them. Do you think they can go to the Final Four, let's say?
Final Four, I have some difficulty seeing them in the Final Four. I think they can get to the Final Eight. I think they can get to the quarters. Look, there's there's really strong individual talent here. Harry Kane is, potentially going to be a threat for the Golden Boot. Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka. Again, you go down the list and you see strong individual talent in this English side, but can they get past Croatia? Because this is a team that has proven to be tournament tested. Again, also good quality, a strong midfield that's anchored by Luka Modric, who's 40, but he can still pull the strings in that midfield, and he still makes that national team hum. So I'm not sure that they can necessarily win that group outright, England, because Croatia is there. And look, don't take the other two teams for granted. Ghana has always been a difficult African nation to overcome, and Panama is, a good CONCACAF side, a good, strong, talented group that works as a team. They may not have, particularly standout individual players, but they work extremely well as a group. And again, a team that is tournament tested. They've come through, CONCACAF qualifying and done extremely well. And I think, it looks like, they and Ghana could challenge for the third place team from this group. And I think one of them will be able to get through.
I would say, I would say England definitely has to make it because the nation wants them to make it. But I feel this group can be quite difficult. Croatia always overachieves at the World Cups. And Ghana has talent and athleticism, and Panama is organized and resilient. So I feel, but England has, Jude Bellingham as well. I mean, Alf, you already mentioned some other great players in the cast, but I feel they have a pretty good team together, and if they can make it through, I think also I would say the last 8 is definitely a possibility. After that, you never know also how they end up in the mix. But yeah, England definitely should make it to the next stage. Croatia also, and then for the third one, we will see what happens. But in Ghana and Panama, will battle it out.
Okay, quickly, final two questions here. All right, I'm gonna ask you right now: who wins the Golden Boot? Let's start off with Steph.
Oh,
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know.
Thank God I asked for the Golden Boot instead of the goalie. Come on. Okay, forget it.
Oh, I
Let
don't
me
know.
jump.
I thought you were going to
No,
say CR.
Let me jump in, Steph. If you're still deciding, I'm going to say
Yeah.
Ousmane Dembele from France. I think I think he's bound to to not only I think he's bound to score in every game, and he may get 2 or 3 a game at the rate he
Okay.
goes. He's and he's just a player that finds pockets, finds spaces, and is a good finisher. So I'll go with Dembele. And has that
You're
given you
being
enough
funny.
time?
Well, I was thinking either a Spanish or a French player because these are the two favorite, sort of teams. I'm not sure if they already made up their mind how they're going to work as a team. So depending on, so who's going to be, sort of, let's say, be in every game or just in a few games, depending on if injuries are coming into play. So I would say a Spanish or a French player, but apart from that, I'm not sure if I would already, define, a certain name because there are so many big top players being mentioned for this World Cup. We even have 22 World Cup champions being presented in 2026. So it sort of I'm a little bit hesitant to already give a name there. But what was the other question? You are already changing into the Brazil
Okay.
tricot jersey.
Well, I was going to say, look, Brazil. Okay, this great, a very good shirt. Okay, I showed you Spain already, but this is the Brazilian second shirt, and Alf, you would want this
blue.
because
I
it's
love
Michael
that.
Jordan. It's Jordan. All right. Anyways, I got Brazil and Spain. That's my final. For sure. Let's talk about your final four, and then we'll go with the final. Steph, you'll start us off. The final four. Don't take 20 minutes.
No, I won't. Spain, France. Oh, the other two.
Brazil.
I just give you something to think of. I'm just saying maybe Morocco as an upset and Japan just because I like them.
Yeah, because you live there. Okay, Alf, go ahead.
Well, definitely Spain and France. I'm going to say Argentina and I don't know. Let's say Turkey as a dark horse to be in the final four.
All right. So here's the final question of all the questions. All right. Who holds the Jules Rimet Trophy? For those people, for the Canadian who think hockey is hockey, if you don't know what the Jules Rimet Trophy is, Alf, do you want to tell them what it is?
The Jules Rimet Trophy is the original World Cup trophy. It was the very first trophy that was handed out in the first World Cup in 1930.
That's right. And who holds it in 2026 at East Rutherford Stadium, where after this, East Rutherford Stadium will no longer be because the Jets and Giants play and nothing happens there?
I will say France. France will be champions.
He goes with France. Carmen Osako says Spain. Steph Dwyer, what do you say?
From the technical side and the roster, I would say Spain. From the atmosphere and the depth of the squad, France. I know you want always, sort of
She's
the defining moment and say just pick one. Okay, I go with Spain.
Okay, so see, no wonder she's on my team and Carmen's on. We got to switch you out.
So which of the three are you picking, Joe? Spain, Brazil, or Canada?
Listen. First of all, Canada's not. If Canada wins the World Cup final,
Wow.
I think we're all win 649. We all win 649. All right. I gotta go. And people don't pick Brazil, and that's what bothers me about. I hear 25 people pick, not one pick Brazil in the final, not to win in the final, and that's why I'm saying Spain and Brazil, and I'm going to go with España. All right, España. Okay. I would have worn it, but whatever. People have to pay for my body. All right. So, look, Alf, everybody's asking me. I get emails aplenty. What's Alf the Blasses doing? They missed Saturday football. I'm not going to say soccer and all that. What is Alf doing? So go ahead, Alf.
I'm a media consultant, so I work with some sports organizations, not for profits, on doing some branding and media awareness with them. And I also, if you're interested, I started publishing a weekly newsletter on the business of soccer in Canada and North America.
Oh.
So if you're interested, check out my LinkedIn profile. It's on LinkedIn once a week.
All right.
Thanks for allowing me to plug that.
No, go ahead. We'll plug it more times, but check that out on LinkedIn. Alf the Blasses, seriously, and staff, seriously, one of the best soccer experts in the last 40 years. Sorry, Alf.
You're too kind.
Okay, maybe 25. Maybe 25 in Canada. One of the best. Everybody who's around our age, 45 to 50, 55, grew up with Alf the Blasses. Let me tell you, this guy is a national
Thank you,
icon
Joseph.
Here.
You're too kind. Too kind.
My check is coming to $20. All right, Steph, go ahead. Steph, go ahead and tell everybody what you're up to. I know you're in Germany, but you're also coming back to Canada. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm based in Toronto, as you can see, from Toronto. And I'm a freelance journalist. I mainly host as an MC conferences. I just did a conference, not on soccer, but actually on IT, AI, sort of all that's around digitization. With a lot of CIOs, which was amazing just to watch how much, creativity and talent is there. But I've also, of course, enjoy, talking about soccer, something that is ingrained probably in every German, because we had so many amazing players that, sort of jumped out of the page when you were, talking about them. And they were really big characters. So I feel that's ingrained in you. But yeah, just happy to be here and, sort of joining you guys to talk about it.
And by the way, I'm reading here on LinkedIn, Alf the Blasses, you got to check out this, what is it, newsletter every week, like millions and millions of dollars in world of soccer, like what nobody knew. But ladies soccer has come a long way, Alf, a long way from not even getting a mention. Now they're getting everything here on TSN and everything, ladies soccer, ladies hockey, basketball, the Toronto Tempo and everything like that. But I urge you to check out LinkedIn once a week, maybe twice, 3 times a week. What does Alf have to say, especially for the people who have emailed me with, hey, how come he's not on? Hey, how come he's here? We got him here. And throughout, hopefully I'm going to ask you this on air, throughout the World Cup, can we get you on here? Not every day, maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, to see if your prediction is right.
Sure. Anytime, Joe.
All right. So check it out. And by the way, for the people here in Toronto and in the States and Mexico, enjoy the World Cup. For us, it never comes, but be safe. They win a game, don't break your city. They lose a game, don't break your city. Be safe and just have a good time watching the beautiful game of football. Right, Steph?
Definitely. The joy of football should be the most important thing. And, watch it with different nations. I would say just, enjoy that everybody's, sort of coming to, the continent, really, coming together, because sport can be the binding element. Everybody loves to see greatness on the field, and the tactics, sort of the brilliance when, sort of just, a certain dribble comes together, and sort of the strategy works out for a certain team. So I would just, relish in the brilliance that's, sort of showing the best of soccer, in North America. And if you think about it, you
And
mentioned
we have
ladies. I
one
have
question I
to.
forgot to ask.
Okay. Just say.
Go ahead, Steph.
No, I just wanted to mention, because you mentioned, female soccer. I would definitely say in the US for the longest time, the women, sort of were so much better because they won so many championships and they really made soccer popular. And that's why I feel, sort of kudos to the women. They really, sort of made it possible for soccer to be, sort of an interesting sport to watch.
Similar story here in Canada, Steph, because the Canadian
We
women's
got
team also kind of carried the momentum after performances at the Olympics and the World Cup, and then of course the gold medal at the Olympics in Tokyo. So it's been a female dominant sport in North America, both in Canada and the United States, with the men coming along on their coattails a little bit in both countries.
And Alf, I got a last question here. Forgot to ask you. I got like 4 people asking the same. Charles, Giancarlo, Mike, wanting to know ask Alf if you get him on. What does he think about the changes at BMO Field or Toronto Stadium? You were there when BMO Field started. Now they renovated. They made it look like a world-class stadium. I don't know if you've been there before, but what do you think of the changes?
Look, I was there to watch Canada play Iceland in one of the friendlies in March. So they had just finished the new stands, the temporary stands. It was a bit hectic that day. There wasn't. I think things have progressed to the point where it's a little more easy to navigate through that stadium. It wasn't particularly in good shape on the day that I went there. But look, from a stadium perspective, it has a really kind of imposing, big big stadium feel right now. So it looks like once it's full and there's 45,000 people in there, it's going to look pretty good on television, and I'm sure in person as well.
And remember, on Friday, the whole world is watching Canada. The whole world, I don't know what they said, 3 billion people are going to be watching Friday's game there. So I got to cut my hair about it. 3 billion people are going to watch us. 3 billion people. And Alf doesn't know this.
I don't think they're going to be watching us.
Canada, the mayor of
I was going to say the same.
All right.
I mean, Joe, in all fairness, they're going to watch something else. They're not going to watch us.
But hopefully,
yeah. I think you'll be lucky if you get about
speak for yourself. All right,
0.001% of that, which is still a pretty high number.
Hopefully, I got more than 1% doing this show. All right, so enjoy the World Cup, everybody. Stay safe. If you're going to be downtown, stay safe. And remember, it doesn't matter if your team wins or lose. Keep this city marvelous, because the whole world's watching this city. Thanks a lot, Steph and Alf. And Alf, you're more than welcome.